Everyday Agenda Podcast is a presentation from Spreaker Studios and Angel Song Productions. Oh, yeah, welcome to my Everyday Agenda Podcast from Spreaker Studios and Angel Song Productions. I'm not at New Space Podcast Studios at 98th and 4th Street. See, I'm at home. And you know why? Because I try to upload my everyday my podcast on my on my space disk, and it won't come out, and I can't even hear. I, I hate to break this to you, but who knows? Give it civilized. But anyways, I got my own computer at computer, and I try to download Odyssey, so that's what I can say. But don't worry, I am back next week at Do Space Podcast Studios in, you guessed it, at 90th and 4th Street. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, great show here today as well. And one of the things that comes to my mind is it's going to be Benedictine Way's 6th anniversary. Anniversary, you know who, that's right. Mm-hmm. uh, Founders Day celebration is at Incarnate Monastery, right close to my church at 30th and Belvedere. And yeah, I tell you one thing, it's a huge blast, and I have no clue whatsoever. So it's gonna be perfect. So it's gonna be wonderful. Also, a brand new segment called "Getting to Know You" is a collection of people who knows to do things every single day. We got two subjects you know I'm talking about. One is Pastor Rick Warren, and this guy is a wonderful pastor and an author, and he has a brand new book, which I'll explain that to talk about. And Bishop J. Scott Parker. You probably noticed, according to New Horizons, thanks to Leo Adam Biga, for wrote this piece according to New Horizons newspaper, and it talks about, you guessed it, you know who, that's right, and all that, you know who, things that Bishop Parker does, and one thing he can tell you, he's stepping down. Wow, that's something you sink your teeth into. And so it's all coming up and lots more, so hold on to your hats. It's gonna be a bumpy ride for another edition of Everyday Agenda. So why don't we just get started with you know who, that's right. You know who, that's right. My opening thoughts. So here's my take on this one. Because last Sunday I called. Yeah, that's right. I called Denise, and Denise from Celebration says, "Do we find anything else about finding a director?" And and we'll just wait and see, because they have a board meeting from Celebration Life Choir, and guess what? This is what happens. I read this on on my Facebook page, and I that's why I talked to Sandra last Tuesday about, Celebration, and that is why called. Denise just called and listened to my voicemail about, and it says that oh yes, Celebration Light Wire is taking a break. Really? I mean, you can't be serious. Yes, it is. It's taking a break, and don't worry, they have further updates and all that stuff. So, what happened to Jan? She is on vacation. Well, I don't know about that, but she's on vacation, and you didn't tell me that as well. Why? It's gonna be worse. I mean, seriously, this is going to be the worst thing that happens. And that's why I talked to Sandra about. Yeah, that's right. Right. Celebration Life Choir is taking a break, fall, winter break, and all that. But don't worry, it will be back in the spring. Unfortunately, we all do. Yes, seriously, it'll be back in the spring, and that is all I can say. So hope Jan comes back to direct this. You know, this could be, yeah, whatever. So, we'll just wait and see about that as well. Okay, did you know that YouTube is blocking, yeah, music? Well, in case you know, yes, last week, big season premiere starts. Yeah, season premiere starting, and you know everything else can be civilized about that as well. And why? Because I tried to download last week, and guess what? I checked my email and says, yep, YouTube is blocking. What kind of a, yeah. So I get it. YouTube is trying to block these music, the music. Did I just, yeah. And I theme song Everyday Agenda. It's gotta be Everyday People. And guess what? It has blocked. I have no clue whatsoever. What? This is gonna be the worst thing that happens. And if you block YouTube again, if you block that music again from YouTube, guess what? You have been a rude awakening about this, because it happens all the time. It doesn't make sense at all. So YouTube, don't do you dare block this, music that I just did my everyday agenda last weekend. Yeah, season number, because this is season number 3. I want to hear music, more music. That's all I can say. Trust me. So shame on you, YouTube. And if I download this, you will listen and you will learn completely. So much for that one. Anyways, I got an email from Janet about doing solos. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me? Not me? I'm sorry. Because I already have solos for last 2 years. So, tenors and basses, they're gonna do, yes, solo on this song in Domine. That means, Lord my God, assist me now. Because all the solos inside, this singer has a solo part. And that means tenor solos could be assigned as tenor, and bass solos could be assigned as to be a bass. Oh, by the way, tenors cannot audition for a bass part, except vice versa, where it is. So that could be, yeah, next Tuesday. Next Tuesday's rehearsal at Beautiful Savior Lutheran Church over in La Vista, Nebraska. So I'll explain that next. What the results is in next week, or I have no clue whatsoever. But Marjorie Bester Simmons Bester told me and the rest of OSC people that we have 3 rehearsals left until the concert starts on October 13th. It's gonna be at Countryside Community Church. Could be the Faith Campus, and then that means we did a winter concert with Witty from River City Mixed Chorus does it, and I have no clue whatsoever. So we did that winter concert with OSC, and it was a blast, and I cannot believe my eyes and ears. Of course, Sig saw me singing, and it's gonna be perfect. Yeah, I know. Trust me. So it's gonna be wonderful. Oh, by the way, could be, everybody's for 14 sign up at a gig, and won't you haven't already signed up? So at who just before October 12th. No, I'm sorry, because I got everyday agenda things to do. You know what I'm saying? Trust me. And finally, Ann Kruger. Yes, Ann Kruger. You know, the one who sang with me years ago. Now she's at St. Andrew's Episcopal Church with Eric. Yeah, Omaha Symphony Chorus guy. And that's why she comes to my church practicing these three songs. One is "It Is Well with My Soul." Trinity's gonna do that October 6th for you guessed it. Yeah, I know. It's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be awesome. So who knows? Could be civilized on October 6th. Hymn Festival at St. Andrews. So that means we practice this song with Nola, Jeannie, and Michelle, and rest of my Resurrection singers practicing "It Is Well with My Soul," and it went perfect, and I hope so. Now, Dodie, I know she's in the back. She better sing with me and my Resurrection singers, because I know she'll be there as well. And she better get her brain going for now. Please, Dodie, sing with us for once. You know what I'm saying? Trust me. This is it's gonna be good. You know what I'm talking about. So that means we practiced it last Wednesday. You know what I'm talking about. LHMusic, why in God's name and vain do you always say that you always put Dodie in front of you because she said she would sing. Yes. She better not say no. So who knows? So next Wednesday, practice How Firm a Foundation. Another Tom Trenny, you guessed it, arrangement. So who knows? So I'll explain that probably next week, because I'm back at Do Space Podcast Studios at you know who. That's right, 90th and 4th Street, and take it from there. So who knows? But trust me, wow. And as far as I'm concerned, you know who. Uh, and because it's gonna be cold now, according to AccuWeather, because it happens all the time, because it's gonna be rain. Oh Lord, rain again. This probably the weekend starts. So it happens all the time. So so everything is gives a less. So tomorrow, rain, and tonight, no, enough of this one. But in the 70s, it's gonna be, that's right, cloudy and sunny. What about the rest of the week? Well, you get the idea for now. Alright. Well, enough is enough, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, you're listening to my Everyday Agenda podcast from you know who, Spreaker Studios. And of course, that's right. You guessed it. Angels Home Productions. Okay, James Taylor, it's your turn. Yeah, it's your turn to you know who sing, and here it is. Hit it, James.
Getting to know you, getting to know about you, getting to like you, getting to hold you like me.
It's time for another edition of Getting to Know You, a brand new segment. You know who. I'm not making this up, but who knows? It's a collection of people who getting to know everyday things. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. So, who knows? Anyways, let's get to know Rick Warren. And you know why? Because this guy, yeah, he's the pastor of you know over 40 years, leading Saddleback Church in uh in California, and I know about he shares the six faces of faith that everybody knows that. That's that, and he's from Lake Forest, California, and who become yeah, you're meant to be this thing because everybody knows since you're a small child, you have dream of how your life could be different. And everybody knows could be dreaming about accomplishing where you live and what you could own. Oh, now you know it happens. See, that's why America's pastor, you guessed it, Rick Warren, Warren, is considered one of the most influential and effective Christian leaders in America. So here's why. This is why he is retiring of anything that you know who. But yeah, retiring. Not long ago, he's stepping down more than 40 years. He's leading Saddleback Church in California, and he took on a new and even more daunting job for once. So who knows? He wrote all the books and all that books called Driven by Bible thing, and I have no clue whatsoever. And you know, I talk about. Now he is the executive director of Finishing the Task, a global coalition of Christians seeking to fulfill Jesus' great commission to share the gospel around the world by 2033. What? What? 20 2033? I know, I know. You're watching too many Back to the Future things, movie trilogies. Well, who knows? But anyways, that date will mark 2,000 years since Jesus' death and resurrection. And Rick says that God is not done with me. You get it? God is not done with me. So among finishing the task's goals assuring that every person on earth has access to the gospel in their native language. And they equipped everyday Christians, yeah, us Christians, to share their faith with others and inspiring every church to plant a new church where one is needed. And Rick's and that's why it's 1,000 times. That's what he says. 1,000 times more complicated than leading a church is yet certain it can be done. Yeah, the fastest period of growth in Christian history was during the first few centuries after Jesus. Yes, when Christians were perverse, the could be a persecuted minority. Rick says that we have so many more resources. And even though churches are shrinking in America and Europe, and they are booming in other parts of the world, God is getting started. So who knows? Anyways, Rick Warren's brand new book called, you guessed it, Create to Dream: The Six Phases God Uses to Grow Your Faith. Your faith. So here's my observation. How the six phases that God uses to grow your faith? Well, it helps readers to find and finishing their own next task, next big task. Take for because everything else can be civilized about the stages of all these things. Because this most recent book explains how you know about the six phases that God uses for you know who. Because it helped to become the person that He has already did attend to you. And this is why the six stages that everybody knows about this, because you know what I'm saying, dreaming, deciding, delays, difficulties, dead ends, and deliverance. Because over a lifetime, everybody's been going through these six phases, and that's why 65 years. Yes, Rick's own 65 years of friendship with God, and he will experiencing these phases over and over. You know, that's all I can say. Over and over. So, take for instance, discovering God, dream for you. Like a child, I have many dreams. Would I become an adult, a fireman, an astronaut, take this one, a musician, a senator. Senator. Well, who knows? But being a pastor could be, yeah, in everybody's mind. So you can, everybody knows about. And while your dream comes to reality, yes, could be influence of all sorts of factors. Two, phase two, decided to act. A dream is worthless until you decide to act on it, and it will require the faith because it requires of letting go of your security and investing time, energy, and all that. So in this phase, to make the right decision, so to be civilized about that as well. Phase three, persisting through delays. God is not pushing a vending machine like, yeah, if I get myself a Pop Tarts or Minute Maid pink lemonade at work inside the VA hospital, ACC, yeah, as a volunteer, whatever. And everybody's been pushing their buttons, and instantly you haven't fulfilled your dreams. And there is always a delay between the launch of a dream and fulfillment. Well, it could be difficult and frustrating. Well, who knows? Because time spent in God's waiting room is essential learning to trust God. You know what I'm talking about. Phase 4, dealing with difficulties. Because here's your worst nightmare. While you were waiting for the fulfillment of your dream, you enter the next phase, difficulties. Well, everybody's starting having problems and pressures added to the delays. Sometimes you wouldn't have to know everything about that as well, because who knows? Phase 5, facing dead ends. Now get this, even eventually the delays and difficulties deteriorating even further. the likelihood of everybody's dreams succeeding from bad to worse to impossible. And it feels like a big, huge failure. Could be a dead end. Your dream has been died. Well, guess what? Your heart is broken. Your spirits is discouraged. Everything is, yeah, feel hopeless. And finally, you guessed it, phase 6, experiencing deliverance. Now, here's my biggest thing. God specializing in deliverance. In it's his favorite thing. He loves to turn to crucifixions into resurrections. And why? Because everybody loves to bring out the, the bad circumstances. And why? Because the Bible is always full of stories of deliverance. No matter what it happens, God wants to deliver all of you. Yeah, all of us, where it is. Then to know it tells you wants you to tell your story of deliverance of others, so they will know Him too. Because after all, Rick does a wonderful job writing the book, and you know what I'm talking about. Trust me, because once you get the book, you know what I'm talking about. Just makes your life real easier. You know what I'm saying. Anyways, get get this book from Pastor America's Own. Yes, America's Pastor Own. Yeah, yes, that Rick Warren, called Create to Dream. The 6 phases, yes, uses to grow your faith. And why? Because why? I'll tell you why in their personal best. Because God is always more interesting in who you're becoming than what you're doing. And with God, there is always something new. You should get the book at your Christian bookstores or other bookstores across America, or you can order it on Amazon.com and take it from there. So who knows? Maybe you might learn something about that as well. Okay. Anyways, next please is gotta be, yeah, Bishop Barker and Leo Adam Biga comes to my church. And this is what he wrote on the weekly reader years. Now is he's written according to New Horizons. It's all about Eastern Nebraska, about aging. Office about, yeah, aging, about over 60 years. Well, could be aging, yeah. And this is why Bishop J. Scott Parker, he's the, yeah, Shepherd's 53 Episcopalian diocese of Nebraska, has a ranging of small rural ones to large urban ones, in particular, that pricks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that pricks. You guessed it. Three, 3 hard days of you know who. 3 decades ago, Resurrection in North Omaha holds a special meeting for mature faith and deepen his humanity. Now, Resurrection is, yeah, you guessed it. It's formerly blending of all black St. John's and all white St. Philip's congregations since I was, yeah, back in the 70s. 70s and 70s, and it goes on and on with my grandparents. And that's why he was serving back in 1997 to 2002, connecting with social justice efforts and all that. According to, yeah, that's right, Joseph Barker III, engaging in 1960s and foreshadowing us Episcopalian churches. Currently, racial reconciliation efforts. And that's why Barker's family goes on and on inside the Omaha roots in the mid 1850s in real estate and all that. Because it could be the sixth generation that Bishop Barker becoming the outliner, choosing a sacrificial life in service ministry. And that means a good shepherd that he needs sometimes tending a hurting flock, and this is why everybody knows about that as well. Well, the and all that. Susan Strand Barker didn't live to see her an all-American boy at over Central High School. Could be ordained as a cleric, inducted in Central's Hall of Fame. Could be elected bishop of the Nebraska uh, diocese or nominated to succeed Michael Curry as presiding bishop in America, because he graduated was at Yale before his legacy after his grandfather and grandfather, and that's why his ministry is still up in the air, and he was clear about that. But his relations as a Christian, but his relationship with Jesus and the church was kind enough to do this, as far as we concerned. And it took, the next generation of Barker, that's right, businessman. And he wrestles it all the time because that's why he felt clean about that. And so he became a priest, as far as we're concerned, who knows about that as well. But there's more about this one, so you just have to trust me about this, as far as we're concerned, about that as well. So here's my take on this one. So here's my observation for you. This is why it happens. And not only that, about finding a home could be life challenging about this. Hmm. And 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 now you know it happens. So this is what happens, finding a church at Resurrection could be could be you know uh, could be a priest back in 1997. And my age is could be different because struggling with that's right, with recognizing about a huge decision and all that. So that's why it has recognizing that an Episcopal Church to presiding this, and he engaged that as well because over decades and all that stuff. So well, who knows about that exciting embracing it, embracing this. And could be, yeah, he serves as chief pastor of the 53 Episcopalians Estrada, worshiping communities planted across Nebraska's 77,000 square miles. Oh my gosh. Now, finding a home is where the heart is. About who, that's right. Because it happens. It could be tolerant and all that as well. And here's the biggest part about this one. Hope you know that advancing it, because Michael Curry does, you guess that, coming full circle about that as well. Well, because it has could be the largest Episcopalian church in Nebraska history. So, what if I told you that Sacred Ground is a racial reconciliation program for members? And that's why Bishop Barker is so proud about this. Because, it could be he learns if our and inside this community earlier at resurrection could be a hopeful narrative to be overcome, because Sacred Ground has found attraction in Nebraska, and the many things extraordinary diocese to diocese of Nebraska has a higher percentage graduating, and those any diocese in the entire Episcopal Church. But that's not the story, is it? Well, you guessed it. To keep this flock to inside this program, and when it gets through with this, they activate to change how they are in the world and how their church looks like. And that's why the Holy Spirit addresses this agent ill that has been too far long. Because everything else could be a fall under his domain. And that's why he visits, yes, my church, Resurrection at 30th and Belvedere, with Reverend Tony and Todd, and so is Jeannie and Nola, and the rest of my Resurrection singers, and so is congregational. Could be a profounding homecoming, and it feels like it. It looks, smells, and feels the same. And that's why he speaks inside the same pulpit so many years about this. And it's been decades for this one. Because that's why October 6th is coming to my church. Yeah. Because last Thursday, I saw Bishop Barker along with James Dowd for this Benedictine Founders Day celebration over six years. Well, I'll explain that for a few minutes. And that is why Bishop Barker is coming to my church. Yeah, that's right. Yes, it's waiting for this annual thing, and also has a reception after church service at Resurrection October 6th, which I'll get into more details uh, next couple of weeks. So cross your fingers. It will be interesting. And that's why everybody gets to know Pastor Rick Warren. And why? Because it takes a lot of time about that as well. So this is what happens if you know everything about that, about getting to know about Bishop Barker, just because everybody knows he steps down. And also Rick Warren steps down as well. 40 years at Saddleback Church in California. And that is why lots of bishops and pastors were retiring that. But and that's why we leave you with this. There are been days, days when everybody has to be returning, and everybody knows a rose-colored glass because of the parish. And this is why Bishop Barker returned to a church like Resurrection, finishing their pastoring ministry, or wherever it is. Because getting to know Pastor and Rick and Bishop Barker know about this. As far as we concerned about all these things. And now you know the rest of the story about and now you know. And uh, and this is what happens to getting a know about that, about Bishop day by day. For now, that's getting to know you. You're listening to my Everyday Agenda podcast from, you guessed it, that's right, guessed it, Spreaker Studios, and of course, Angel Song Productions. Song Productions. Okay, last Thursday, I tried to get off from work from, yeah, Veterans Hospital ACC so I can get ready to catch the bus. While my dad just called and said, "Where you at?" I'm on the bus, and it's gonna be huge. Yeah, I know. And that's why I'll be. That's why last Thursday I was at. You guessed it. That's right. Benedictine Way, known as Incarnational. Incarnate. Called, you guessed it, Incarnation Monastery at 30th and Belvedere, right close to my church. Mhm. Church. And everybody's sitting outside. I know. So that means I was there. So who knows? There's a chair, and I'm moving away from the because of the mosquitoes are biting me. Yeah, whatever. And I was there. So is Reverend Tony, and so is Deacon Joan and Todd. The rest of the congregation here outside at this beautiful, yes, beautiful, uh, yeah, outdoors. Yeah, because of the noise and construction, wherever it is. So so that's why this Foundation Day 6 could be a 6th anniversary of Foundation Day celebration. That means with a single voice and a single breath that you know and love about this one. So trust me. So it begins. The service begins with a call to prayer, and the cantors and the people sung with the, you guessed it, litany of the saints. And by the way, Abby and Carter are musicians, and they're singing, cantoring, and all that. And the people join in the refrain and all that. So who knows? Okay. Then Bishop Barker wants us to stand and says, "God be with you," and also with you. Could be, yeah, Bishop calling to silence. And that's why I put this into song that Bishop Barker and his friend David Crone wrote this piece called "With a Single Voice," as you know by by now. And I have no attention to that as well, so who knows? And then, yes, the first reading, Tammy, yes, is a oblate candidate. First is take up the first reading, and then some response could be, yeah, the cry of the poor, and believe me, you know, community Catholic music is a contemporary thing, but somebody's gotta do it. Then gospel is not a reading, is a hymn gospel, and Anne from Trinity Cathedral sang this, and that'll be wonderful. Now Abby does the homily and the poem, but she plays piano, and that was so smart about her, and I have no objection whatsoever. So who knows? Can be civilized about this one. That's when she does the homily, and it could be and so is in this with a wonderful poem, and that was so smart. Now Bishop James Dodd, could be show business or whatever happens off Broadway, whatever it is. Could be a monk, well, inside Benedictine way thing, and everybody has a commitment to oblate, blade with Tammy, and so is the reception of the oblate candidate John, and they fulfill their promises about being the oblate. It's a gift from God, gift from God, and all that. So trust me, because after this one is over with, could be let us blessing with a warm applause. Yay! Yep, I know. Anyways, prayers of the people. That Brother Jerry Thompson does this, does the prayers. Then another hymn tune is called "Sing to the Mountains," and and all that stuff. So who knows? Then the Lord's Prayer, and Bishop Barker has the remarks about yeah, could be all that stuff. Then the collect and dismal and closing hymn, and that was it. And after this one, the reception. It looks like Greek food. And I wonder there's barbecue meatballs. Oh, yeah. I love it. And some crackers. We're having a wonderful time. And they have water, soda, water, sparkling waters, and all that stuff. So who knows? Keep it civilized. But being with this 6 years could be a huge task to do all those things. And occasionally, well, you know what I'm talking about. So who knows? Anyways, and this is what happens is a wonderful experience, and I and you know what I'm talking about. For the next, well, what happens the next 7 years, 7th anniversary? Well, you find out what it is for this foundation day. You're listening to my Everyday Agenda podcast from Spreaker Studios, and of course, Angel Song Productions. Let me wrap this up for just uh, small things to make this story short, if you know what I mean. And here's these three buffoons try to sabotage this. This is gonna be worse. One is Tina, and that is why she made a practical joke on Dale's hairpiece. And saw this picture and said, "What? I cannot believe my eyes and ears." During the summer, I have no objection. Now, Tina was, yeah. Pretend she wears a halo. Uh, and wings. And I said, yeah, guess what? This is not going right as well. Tina, you're not wearing a halo. You're just pretending that. And that is not wings. It's a backpack. But this is ridiculous. I have no objection whatsoever. And you try to be good? No, no. You're being bad as well. I hope you and I pray to God that you better get on your knees and ask for forgiveness before you go to church. You better pray to God, and I will results Monday when I come in. If you're good, thank you. If you're bad, you wish. Don't ever make a bad habit again. And now too, Tony, yeah, I was upstairs, third floor, and I said I want you guessed it, spicy chicken sandwich. Not on a bun, yes, hamburger bun, but on a brioche bun. And that's why you try to. And you know what happens? Last week, he threw a bun at my face. What in God's name? You're at a, and it says, you owe me an apology. Tony says, I'm sorry. It's just an accident. Oh, yeah. Why are you trying to throw a bun at my face? Because you know why. If you already know about that as well. If you throw a bun at my face again, I will do something to you. He says, I'm sorry. It's like, you better go around with me. I was like, fine, I will get out of your hair. But next time, a brioche bun. Not a hamburger bun, a brioche bun. Understood? Good. I'll get out of your hair, wherever. And finally, Matt. Oh, Lord. Matt tried to try to send me text message about what about lunch at Barrett's and all that. That's why you guessed it. That's right. Matt sent me a text message about that one, and it's what drives me crazy about this one, because I will call Matt either this weekend or Monday before I'm gonna get rid of So I warned Matt not to text me again. So it doesn't even listen what I'm gonna say. So, well, whatever. Well, at least you all know by now. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. So, Matt, don't ever do that again. Text me. As for you, Tony, don't you ever throw a bun at my face while I was upstairs, third floor. While I was getting lunch, and Connor sees you trying to throw a bun at my face. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And Tina, if you play a joke on Dale again, Dale and myself will despise you. And you know why? You try to say, I was good. Yeah. With your silly pretending halo about that. So, don't even be surprised about that as well. You know what I'm talking about. Trust me. Enough is enough for now. Hope you do. Anyways, let's wrap this up, shall we? Let's do it. Okay, so when we learn for this everyday agenda thing, well, guess what? Here's the thing. You might think it's so smart about getting to know Pastor Rick Warren's thing about the six phases that everybody has been creating a huge dream about this one. So this is gonna be wonderful, and you should get the book as well at your bookstores. Creating a dream, and I have no clue whatsoever. So this should be fabulous. So who knows? about this one. You pre-order it at Amazon.com, and you know what I'm talking about. And what about Bishop Barker? Yes, that's why from my church resurrection all the way up to becoming a bishop, and he steps down and all that. So that should be interesting. Don't we all know that as well? Well, inside Eastern Episcopalians out there of Diocese of Nebraska, and I have no clue whatsoever. As for you, Leo Adambiga, you wrote this piece according to New Horizons newspaper. It was a fabulous piece, and this should be life challenging, and this will be wonderful. Kudos to you, Leo Adambiga. Very proud of you. And if I were you, Bishop Parker, I will see you at church on October 6th. Just for Him Festival at St. Andrews, you know, talk about. Trust me. Benedictine Ways Foundation Day celebration is a huge challenging in his life, life we're living about, inside being an oblate at a time like this. Abby does a wonderful job, and so is these two musicians, Carter and Ann, and so is Brother James Dodd and all that. It was a fabulous experience last Thursday, and it's gonna be life changing. And what about the next seventh anniversary? Well, you guessed it. You might know by now. Inside the Benedictine Way, and I know it's gonna be cool. And finally, Celebration Life Choir has taken a huge break. Well, I have no clue whatsoever, so who knows? But it'll be back in the spring, as Denise says this on my voicemail, and take it from there. So who knows? Give us a list. Don't worry with further updates. And what about solos that Janet has? I saw Janet's email about solos and all that stuff about next Tuesday's rehearsal. I know, three rehearsals. Yeah, I know. Trust me. And give me one good reasons why about Ann Kruger rehearsing this Tom Trini thing. Well, at Resurrection, it's gonna be whatever. Anyways, it's gonna be fabulous. We'll find out when it is next Wednesday. And these three guys doesn't even know what they're up against. Yeah, Matt, and so is Tina, and so is Tony. Be careful what you wish for, you know, Saba. Anyways, we're almost out of time. And check the website lhmusictimes6.wixsite.com/everyday agenda. I will download the podcast from Spreaker Studios, and you will listen to it as well on iHeartRadio, all the way up to YouTube Music as well. So make sure you tune in for that and downloading that. And check my social media websites, Facebook, Twitter, X, and lots more. So be sure you tune into that. So what comes next? A list of things on my everyday agenda thing. Oh yes, all church picnic at Goods Memorial, and I have no clue. And getting to know Charlemagne. Yeah, she's here, I know. Anyways, we're almost out of time. I'm back at Do Space Podcast Studios next Saturday. Until we meet again, LH Music is about to sign off. Go God's blessings. We salute all of you America out there, and we'll see you next weekend for my Everyday Agenda podcast inside Do Space Studios. Studios at 90th and 4th Street. Go bye-bye. Everyday Agenda podcast is a presentation of Angels on Productions and Spreaker Studios.